Alright, hey guys, we finally decided to start a podcast. We're calling this the Marian Tobcast because it sounds cool. This is our first time, so, yeah. We thought it would be fun to start one because we talk a lot. Okay.
Let's just go. Let's just go. We don't even. We already did the intro. Hi, everybody. Yeah, all that good shit.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. It's so much harder because it's like, it feels more forced because it's like,
yeah, because you know someone's gonna be watching it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a podcast, and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not just we're having a conversation with each other anymore. We have to be entertaining.
We're having a podcast about podcasting right now. That's pretty meta. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone who's watching this is already gonna know who you are, obviously.
Yeah. So, Tob, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Wow, okay. Putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, y'all already know how I go by or whatever.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I'm a guy on the internet. That's it.
That's pretty nice.
Did I tell you about the guy I met on the bus? He was like a homeless dude that I met on the bus, and he like wrote this whole story.
Oh my god.
Did I tell you about that?
I don't think so.
Okay, basically, same area. I was a little bit older, and I didn't usually take the bus, but my car happened to break down. So what I did was I waited for the public transit, and I got on it, and I happened to take a seat. About 5 minutes later, the bus stops. There's another old white guy. There's a lot of those. And he had like a bushy beard, and he sat right next to me. And, you know, then the bus goes, and we're just driving and whatever.
Yeah.
And he actually taps on my shoulder, and I remember because he stunk really bad.
Oh no.
It was horrible. I was like, oh god. But I didn't want to move because I'm like I think about the subliminal messages you kind of push by doing shit like that, and I was like, I'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started, first he asked me my name, I gave him a fake name, and
very fair.
He had like, you know those composition books they use for like school?
Oh,
and in the front is like composition book, and it's like, right? Yeah, so he handed me one of those. I pinched at the pages to turn them because I didn't know if there was like piss on this or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah, but basically he told me a story about how he was a like millionaire or billionaire who lived in Southern California. And he said what happened is he got into it with the wrong people, and they attacked his house and burned it to the ground. And he said he had a wife and some kids, and they got taken away by like the people that broke into his house.
Damn.
And you know, I mean, I don't know what this guy went through. Maybe it was exactly like that, but I was just like nodding my head and stuff. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, continue. Yes, very true.
What struck me as odd, okay, that wasn't even the end of it. He said after that, he was actually shot and killed.
Oh.
And then he said he was dead for a little while, and then he came back to life.
I think that's just sleeping and waking up.
Yeah, no, but he was like convinced that he had died and returned, like Jesus Christ, like he had risen from, you know, the grave.
He's the next coming.
Yeah, and the reason this particular thing stands out is because I still remember what his fucking notebook looked like. Nice. I opened it, and it looked like it was like a whole bunch of triangles and like it looked like PlayStation codes, like the shit that you would put into your PlayStation or whatever, like cheat codes. It looked exactly like that.
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, and it had like scribbles and like frantic words that made no fucking sense, and I was actually reading it because I was interested at this point.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I could be meeting, Jesus right now. And yeah, and I was just reading all of his shit. And when I say reading, I mean looking at all of like the symbols, because it was literally chicken scratch. And only he knew what it meant. Like he would point at like it wouldn't even be cursive, it would be like a scribble.
He's like here.
Yeah, like a schizophrenic scribble. And he would point at it and he would be like, see, this is where I wrote about my dying day when I took my last breath. Those were his actual words too. It was like, my dying day right here. And he would point at it and I would just nod. I would be like, this is rad, bro.
That sounds like a fever dream.
Before he left, he gave me this card and it had what I'm assuming is his name on it. I don't know. But he was like, here, come see me speak at Food Not Bombs. And the town where I grew up, there was like a downtown area, and they would always have like really dumb festivals, and because it was like a really like liberal area, and like the history behind that area was essentially like a whole bunch of like social outcasts went and found like a hole and then just made a whole fucking city there or whatever. Just, a place full of social rejects. And the festival is called Food Not Bombs, and it's basically like eat delicious food and we don't like military warfare and whatever. And I mean, it sounds cool, but I actually went there and the food was disgusting. It was
God.
like vegan pizza, and I don't mean the good kind. It was like really bad.
Damn.
But apparently he was speaking there. I don't know.
That would have
trippy.
been so interesting to like actually watch.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want him to recognize me, so I didn't really.
Oh, that's.
I don't even know if he was there. I just, yeah. But he had a business card and everything.
Damn.
Yeah, shit was crazy.
It's like very interesting to think about that, like to wonder like whether that really happened or not. Like what? Not like the situation, but like, did he actually? Like, was he actually a millionaire, or is that a lot of fucking drugs?
He probably felt like $1 million, but I don't know. Maybe.
Like, yeah.
Anything's possible.
True.
But I mean, to have your house burned down.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
your whole family kidnapped.
And it's interesting, like, it seems like that type of thing would reach the news. Because that's a story.
Yeah. I mean, it could have happened like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was just, I don't know. But like, once he said that he like literally died and then he rose again, I was like the icing on the cake. I was like, okay, there's a very small chance this really happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Drugs are some crazy shit.
For real. Loot drop was. It was the book.
It was the book. No, that guy's a survivor. I mean, he's definitely gonna outlive me. I know that for a fact.
God. He's gonna die and then live again.
Exactly. I mean, he did it once. How hard could it be?
True.
God.
Crazy.
No, but stuff like that is interesting because I think in general people are really judgmental.
Oh yeah.
People who use drugs and like homeless populations and stuff like that. I think I saw this thing and it was like subway benches, but they would modify them so that homeless people couldn't sleep on them or something
Oh,
like
that's...
that.
Oh, yeah, like they added the lines there in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they started doing that at like parks
That's really
too.
sad.
I know, so fucked.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like, imagine you're just... Like, you find a bench and you're like, ah, yes, this is where I'm gonna sleep. But no,
I
you're
know.
not allowed to sleep there anymore. Because they don't want you to sleep there, so they added this line thingy.
Like, that's already fucking sad when you find a
Yeah.
bench and it's a place to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like people are just super intolerant of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Definitely.
Yeah. California's like that.
It do be. I've been to California like a few times, yeah. And it's like very different because the climate is different than here because it's much more hot. Like, I remember my cousin was wearing a hoodie in the fall and it was like, why? It's so hot.
Oh god. Yeah, yeah. I went there to visit my aunt like 3 or 4 months ago. And the problem with California is that it never rains there.
Oh.
And that's really ironic for me to say right now
Just dry.
because it's super dry. And we were driving on the freeway and there was like a massive holdup. We were waiting for like 2 hours. And what had happened was it had been so hot and there was no water, so it was super dry. And next to the freeway are these big old like grassy hills.
Yeah.
And they had just like caught on fire.
Oh my god.
It was crazy. It was like burning all over the place. Like as you drove by, you could like feel how hot it was.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Which is very ironic because right now California has like floods and shit happening to it right now. But
Global warming is real.
yeah.
It's so funny how people debate that.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the stage where people can literally just deny science.
Oh yeah. They'll be like, science, that's just a religion.
It doesn't make any sense because they'll
Yeah.
deny like scientific evidence, and then when you ask them what they think, they'll be like, well, I conducted my own research. And what that's code for is I searched up these conspiracy theories that align with what I think,
Oh, God.
and I have confirmation bias. So
And it's like, and the other one, it's like, it's either that or I heard about it on Facebook.
oh my god.
They're like, don't
You
trust
really can't trust-
everything you see, and then they trust Facebook.
You can't trust it anywhere. Like,
True.
look, Twitter.
Yeah, it's so easy to lie, and it's sad how people don't realize that. Like, they'll just believe anything.
They'll believe everything. It's kind of scary.
Like, I could hypothetically say, the world is going to end tomorrow, and we're all gonna be smothered by potatoes falling from the sky because the aliens were mad at us. So they decided to start their produce on Mars, and they've collectively been doing it. And what we see on Mars right now is actually just a shield to like block the real planet. And they'd believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we already kind of had something like that
Oh yeah.
in 2012, that whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, like the planets are gonna align and everyone will die.
Yeah, like I remember there were actual people who were spending all their life savings to get their kids
Oh
like
my god.
ways that they wanted because they're like, oh my goodness, we only have a week left to live. Um, yeah, but
Yeah.
fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
I mean, especially now because we're in a climate where someone's social media presence is like basically their entire life. And
Yeah.
when they're getting, quote unquote canceled, even though it's not even a real thing,
I know. Right?
it's like an attack on you, really, because you have a whole bunch of people who are attacking you,
Yeah.
even though they don't even know who you are.
Yeah, they don't know who you are. It's like they heard you say something they didn't agree with, and therefore they're like, you deserve to die. It's so
I know.
crazy how self-absorbed some of these people are.
For real. And it's only a social media thing.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist in real life.
Like, no one would
Like-
have the balls to say that in real life.
Yeah. I mean, and the people who do already know that they're at risk of getting, like, the shit slapped out of them.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was just like, fuck Twitter. I hate that place.
It's very toxic. Like, you just don't want to be on Twitter. I've seen so many like, the other problem is, like, people cancel people for the smallest things, but then you have the people who are, like, actually bad people, and they're like, yeah, continue, that's kind of based.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh my god, like, it doesn't make any sense.
No sense
And like,
at all.
like you'll have someone who assaults somebody, and people will be like, "Oh yes,
Yes,
get it.
please.
yes, queen, you're such a girl boss, whatever." And that will be okay. And then the moment someone says something, they're not. The thing is, so many people will get canceled for speaking,
Yeah,
and
and it's like something that they said maybe 5 years ago.
yeah, and it's not even like inherently violent. It's just like
Yeah. It's
an
just a
opinion
hot
that
take.
doesn't mold. Yeah, it just doesn't mold into the mainstream.
Yeah.
And we're at the, like, I just hate how we're at this point where, oh, if you disagree with me, then you're attacking me or you're being violent.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? Violence is like me like bludgeoning you with a
Yeah.
a hammer. And, like,
Yeah.
there's nothing violent about like having a hot take on something. And
Exactly. Like, that's the problem. People comment on things that they have no personal experience with, or like any experience with at all. They just think people who do deal with that thing are affected, therefore they're like playing white knight or some shit.
yeah, I hate it. It's
I
so
hate
bad.
it.
It's so bad. And then the fact that, I mean, it's no coincidence that it's happening to celebrities mostly, but like, I think people are forgetting that
Celebrities
a lot
are-
of these celebrities, yeah, celebrities are people first. A lot of these people, don't exactly have, like what the fuck is Beyonce gonna say about racial discrimination that hasn't already been said by
Yeah.
actual political activists who devote time to these. You're asking for an opinion from someone who wrote all the single lays
Yeah.
and not an actual political leader. I don't know. It just and then people get mad when the celebrity makes an
Says that-
uneducated
yeah.
statement. Like, who are you people?
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, but that's just the state of the world. I don't actually care.
Man.
Yeah.
We're only here for like less than 100 years. Oh, here's a topic. World domination. We're gonna talk
What's
about this.
What's your plan?
Alright. So, this is what we're gonna do. We are going to, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna lock up all the world leaders in a room with, like, the idea of, oh, if you win this game, you can get, like, all of your debt will go away.
Oh, like Squid Game?
I guess. I never watched that.
I don't know. I just thought that was what it was about.
I know, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
You, like, have all these world leaders in this room. I don't know, maybe put them, like, in a school gym. And then you lock all the doors, you board all of the windows. And then you give them some popcorn, and they're gonna have to watch the B movie for like 10 hours. And the thing is that popcorn is laced with LSD and weed. So they're gonna get mad wasted. And you're gonna have us, who's gonna take over the world while they're trapped in there, and every week we give them 7 loaves of bread, and they have to fight for the bread to eat it.
Damn.
So while that's going on inside, we develop a serum for the zombie apocalypse.
Right on time.
And what we do is we threaten everyone, like, hey, if you guys don't follow what we say, everyone is gonna turn into a zombie. But the thing is, it's like fake. It's actually just apple juice, but like with some editing and cool video, we managed to make it look like someone turned into a zombie after drinking it.
Oh my god.
So after that, we're gonna like make everyone give their personal devices, their laptops, their phones, their Bluetooth headphones, their AirPods.
Bluetooth?
Yes. And
all their computer game. All their stupid little iPhones.
So what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna change the passwords to, I don't know, just like every password is some random letter spam. So no one is ever gonna know the password.
God.
And then this is the good part. We go to an arcade and hang out. That's it.
This is a very convoluted plan, but I support it.
Yeah,
we literally just become the Chinese government.
Okay. And this is another thing we have to do. We have to like write some really cryptic messages in different, like on paper. We're gonna print it out like maybe like in the millions, and every single park will have some form of this message.
God.
And it's gonna be different every time. It's gonna be like a roulette. And if you get all 7 messages, you get granted a wish.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Hold on. Like, is there a limitation on the wish, or...
If it's impossible to, like, actually come true, we kill them.
Oh my god. What if, oh my god, you're not thinking about this. What if like a 5-year-old kid manages to get like all of the wishes, and then he's just like, I want to live on Pluto, like I cannot, you can do that, you can kill the kid.
Oh no. It's like, it's still possible, it's just less possible. So what we're gonna do is like, okay, I promise in like 5 years, we're gonna send you to Pluto in a little airship, and while that's going on, we just rename one of the countries Pluto, and we ship the kid there. And we're like, here's Pluto, it's here now.
God. This is insane. Okay, but I'm gonna entertain this idea.
Alright.
So the world leaders first off, who do you think is gonna win?
Oh, here's the best part. That was just a clause so that they would actually come. There's no games. They the most they have to do with each other is, I don't know, they can play some charades or something, and the prompts are all really weird. For example, and this is a real prompt I've gotten in charades: impaling a dog on a spike.
My God.
So they have to act that out, and if they don't, I don't know. We're not in there. We don't need to deal with that.
We're gonna kill each other.
It's a them problem.
Okay, personally, I'm team Kim Jong-un. I think he has a pretty good chance.
I've heard from, I don't know, maybe Wikipedia or something. I hear he has a mad charade game.
Okay, look, but think about it this way. I don't know if you saw the pictures of him recently, but he went from being borderline obese to his weight loss is insane. So I was like, if he can do that, he can certainly win a game of charades.
And if you win the game of charades, you get a loaf of bread all to yourself. Wow.
See, and then he's just gonna gain the weight right back. So if anyone tries to shoot him, he'll just deflect the bullets with his body mass.
Alright, and then here's the best part. The bread is actually 1 day from expiry date.
Oh shit. That's violent.
You know what? No. Let's make it 2 days. They have 2 days to eat bread.
Fair. What if they wait till then they'll die? So sad.
Yeah. You just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Kim Jong-un will win though.
Yeah. That's
either him or Queen Elizabeth.
Oh yeah. She killing it.
Yeah. She would see the bread is past its expiration date, and then she would just eat their essence. She would just consume their soul. That's the only reason she's still alive right now.
She just smells it.
Yeah. That's the only reason she's been able to make it this long. I've been studying this, and there's actually written CIA files that she can literally just absorb the essence from your body.
Ooh, that's kind of
she steals your life energy. Okay, I'm gonna question what you're into, but
life essence is kind of cool, and sniffing it away, that's I wonder, okay, we're gonna get into this now, because I just came up with this on the spot. Alright.
Bet.
Do you think people's life essences have flavors?
Definitely.
Alright, what do you think our flavors would be?
Yours would probably be strawberry. And mine would probably taste it would probably taste like a cigarette that has been rained on for 3 days.
Oh my
and then you pick it up and then you put it in your mouth. That's probably what mine would taste.
That's very specific.
Yeah, I came up with it on the spot.
The duality of our flavors.
Exactly.
It's so funny though, because you said strawberry, and that's literally the soap I use. It's just strawberry scent.
I swear that you mentioned strawberries countless
times.
Yeah. I was just yeah, strawberry.
It's very funny too, because strawberries aren't even my favorite fruit. I just really like the aesthetic of strawberries.
They do be looking cool.
I know, they look so nice. The same goes for cherries. But cherries are really good.
Cherries are good.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's your favorite fruit?
Um, let's see. I really like grapes, and that sounds.
Oh God, I hate grapes.
Really?
I hate grapes.
I also like mango and jackfruit. Those are really good, to be honest.
I don't even know what jackfruit is.
It's okay. It's, how do I explain this? It's just really good. It's
Wow, thanks a lot.
don't worry. Like, one day we're gonna meet up, and I'm gonna give you some jackfruit.
Hell yeah. First time trying it.
Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite fruit?
Definitely not grapes. I hate grapes. Everybody looks at me weird when I say I don't like grapes, but
I mean, it's a very, like, I don't see people hating grapes very often because they're very pleasant to me.
I think part of the reason I hate them is because I just grew up on them so much.
Oh, it's like you kind of
To a
got bored of them.
Yeah, like to a ridiculous degree.
Oh
Like
my god.
my dad would buy like 3, you know, like those huge tubs of grapes.
Oh.
That he would buy like 3 of those, and then he would be like, okay, finish this by the end of the week.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
It's like, Tob, it's 4 p.m. It's time to eat your grapes.
Exactly. But yeah, I hated those. And then so over time I started to hate grapes because of that. But he made it worse by it's amazing how so subtle of a difference can make you hate a food more.
Oh
but
god.
he bought grapes that have seeds in them.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh yeah, so it was just terrible. It went from 3 tubs of normal grapes, which was decent, I
Yeah.
guess, to the seedy ones, which are so bad.
I hate. Like, one of the things that makes food taste better sometimes, or all the time honestly, is when it's more convenient to eat.
Yeah.
I hate when my hands get dirty. That's why I don't like... That's kind of why I don't eat seafood very often. Because they always have the sauce on it, and it's like...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get your hands in there. It's like, ooh. And
That
just how it
makes sense.
looks.
I have no, I definitely relate to that. I hate I'm so conflicted because finger food is so awesome, but I hate it.
know. It's like, I think
And
it's the messy finger foods.
Yeah, for sure.
Because fries are a finger food, but they're good.
Exactly. I mean, fries can be greasy as hell, but
Ugh.
I have this really weird quirk because I'm not like the other girls, and
Are you like
I
the
don't know
other guys?
why. No, I'm not like the other guys.
Damn.
Exactly.
Alright.
I'd be thoughting a little bit, a little slutting on the side. But anyway, I think I got this from my mom probably, but I don't use napkins.
Oh.
If my hands get dirty, I literally get up and go to the nearest sink and wash my hands, and then I come back and do it all over again.
Honestly though, kinda same. But it's more for me, I don't do that in the house. I do use paper towels in the house, but otherwise, if I'm at a store, I usually can't be bothered to be like, hey, can I have some napkins, please?
Yeah, I do it everywhere. I literally do it at restaurants. It's so bizarre.
Damn.
Like my hands just get filthy and I go into the restaurant bathroom and wash my hands, and I do it 6 times. It makes no fucking sense.
I'm just thinking about the mental image of your hands are so dirty, and you open the washroom with and there's a doorknob on it. So the entire doorknob is dirty now. You wash your hands, but you don't use paper towels, so you just
I don't even like doorknobs, so I usually open it with like my sleeve or something.
Oh, that's fair. Usually I try to like elbow it. You do the elbow down and the like the push.
Yeah. One time I was at like Chili's, I think. Because the thing is, my hands don't even have to be like filthy, like Cheeto dust. Like
it just
it doesn't even have to be like that. Like it could literally just be like tiny bits of grease, and I'm like, oh, this is
that annoys me. I hate grease.
Yeah, grease is horrible. But one time I was at like fucking Chili's, and I was wearing like a short sleeve shirt, so I couldn't do the sleeve technique.
Oh.
So I made the dumb decision to try to open the door with my foot.
Oh.
And so I like, it was so dumb. But
you know what?
I put my, because it was one of those doorknobs that has like, the opening. It's not like a turn knob, it's like the one that you grab.
Oh.
So I put my foot in the space and I tried to pull it, but I just like fucking fell. and everybody was looking at me. It was at a Chili's. It was like a Thursday night. I was just trying to get
to the bathroom to wash your hands.
To wash my hands, and I fell, and yeah, it was bad.
Not gonna lie though, when you said I did the dumbest thing, my immediate assumption was I grabbed onto my pants and I tried to open the door.
Oh my god, no, that's like a different kind of stupid. I'm not conventional stupid. I'm bizarre stupid. Like, I make stupid choices that don't make sense.
Mood.
But yeah, it was just a mess. I just hate public restrooms in general. They're so gross.
Oh, they are.
They're so bad.
Alright, I think it's time to do that little segment thing we planned.
Bet. Let's do it.
Alright, so let me just explain what we're doing. So basically, I thought it would be a fun idea if we were to go into some random noun generator and get a topic and then talk about it for as much as we can for the remaining of the podcast. So, I'm gonna go into that right now.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna generate some random nouns. I just got dirt.
You got what?
I got dirt.
Dirt?
Yeah.
Oh. What the fuck am I supposed to say about dirt?
Okay, the next.
Oh, very cool. You got a good one on your first try. We get to talk about
nice.
Dirt. So this is like kind of unrelated because I'm a piece of shit, but when people like have beef with kids, like when I have beef with kids, it's usually because they do things that are like really disgusting.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, people will be like, oh, you did that when you were a kid and you did that, and like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. Like, as a kid, I was so reserved and I didn't mess with anything. It was just like I never touched anything. One time when I was in preschool, I think this was like the thing that made me stop like doing shit.
Oh.
Basically, I had like this toy truck, and this girl like took the truck from me. She was like, "This is my truck now."
Oh no.
And I was like, "Hey, give me that shit back, bitch." And and then she scratched my eye, and it was like bleeding.
That's feral.
So, yeah, it was wild. I didn't do shit like that. Like, I didn't eat sand and like, you know, be gross and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even like cry a whole lot.
Damn.
But
actually kind of same.
Yeah, I was like, I was just out there. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is because like I was reading in my psychology textbook, like a common thing that kids do is put shit in their mouth.
Ew.
Because it makes them like contextualize the world for their brain, I guess. And one of the most common things. What were you gonna say?
It's like a data input.
Exactly. It's like a CD that you put into a CD player. It has to read it and then it can start playing. But apparently one of the most common things they put in their mouth is dirt. and I've actually seen it for myself. Like I've seen kids eat sand and like mud and stuff, and I'm like, this is so fucking gross. And I'll always get people who are like, well, you didn't eat dirt as a kid? And I'm
That's
like, no.
Weird. That's weird.
I know I did. Who are you people?
Like,
it's just...
I can admit I like played with dirty things. Like, for example, I would like make the little sand castles with like the school sand, or I would like walk around in the slush and play with that with my gloves on. But I never ate anything that was from the ground. That's weird.
Like, I think there's like a certain level of, I don't know if I just hang around stupid people, but I don't know. Because, yeah, no, dirt is bad. And
oh yeah,
like I was already really self-conscious of dirt and germs before, and then oddly enough, like the pandemic didn't make me any more like paranoid about stuff like that, because I already washed my hands like 800 times a day.
yeah.
And like I don't touch doorknobs with my hands and shit like that. So yeah, it's just weird shit that kids do.
Yeah. Let's.
But that's what I have to say about dirt. I don't fuck with dirt. Period.
Dirt on swag.
So dirty.
Like, when I think of dirt now, I'm just thinking of like, this is probably the weirdest connection people are gonna hear. I just think of like how I was going on a walk earlier and I saw worms everywhere because it was raining.
Yeah.
There were so many of them, and like, okay, I saw this. I'm just walking and I see this worm and it's literally like half white, and I'm just there like, are you alive? What happened? You poor thing. I think it was freezing to death.
Yeah, I feel being a worm must fucking suck.
I went. You have to eat dirt.
I went. Yeah, you literally do. I went running like super fucking early in the morning, and that's usually when like the worms are out.
Yeah.
Because they just die in the sun. They can't do anything about it.
They're like vampires.
Yeah. I mean, it's so bad. Like they shrivel up and then they get all solid.
Oh yeah.
And you can see them like they look like candy canes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh, that sucks. Like imagine going out like that.
I know. Damn bitch, you live like that?
Yeah, and then you get like eaten by ants. Like fuck no.
And birds. And you get stepped on by children or poked with a stick.
Yeah, God.
Worms just got it bad.
Yeah. I would just see them everywhere, like super early in the morning, and they're like already dying. Like the sun isn't even out, but they can't make it. They can't make it back to the grass. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
If you're a worm, then like if I was a worm, I would probably kill myself. Like I don't know how. I don't know how. I would probably just like wiggle out into the road and wait to be eaten or like ran over or something.
Man. Worms.
Plus they're dirty.
Oh yeah. They're very dirty. And it's very interesting because there's also a different classification of worms, like mealworms. I used to have a gecko, and we would feed it mealworms every day, and that it creeped me out so much because they had legs. Ugh. It was
Oh
so
god,
weak.
no. That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
They were creepy and crawly. Ugh.
Like a parasite, not a worm.
And they were like,
Oh.
they weren't even pink, they were like yellow.
God, that's nasty.
Oh, yeah. But shout out to worms, they eat dirt for, I guess.
Thank you, worms.
Thank you, worms. You
Thank you
eat
for-
dirt, even though they're the askers.
Thank you for your sacrifices. Next one.
Oh, we're doing another one. Okay, okay. Funeral.
You have been to a funeral.
Only for people I haven't actually met before.
Oh. I have never been to a funeral before.
Damn.
Yeah, it was weird. Cause I had like 2 deaths last year, but
Oh yeah, with COVID and all that.
well, one of them was like a separate thing, but
Yeah.
that one I didn't it was like a familial thing. It was like super personal, but I guess it was held without me because this was like, I mean, every fucking moment of my life is hectic as fuck, but this was like super hectic. And I guess they figured I couldn't handle it, so they held it without me or whatever. I don't know.
Damn.
And then the other one, this was actually pretty bad, but like a family member of mine passed away from COVID. I mean, it was other stuff too, like he was super unhealthy and he was like diabetic and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
he passed away, and they had I only saw it for like 2 seconds, and then I just, yeah, but it was like a virtual funeral, and
Oh.
it was because he lived across the country, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't me and my immediate family weren't gonna be able to like fly out there.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was so fucking weird because, you know, usually you read like eulogies and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was just like, I don't know, it was weird. Like a virtual funeral, I couldn't even
Yeah.
imagine like that. Like, this person died, let's all go on Zoom. Like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Actually,
Right.
that happened because, okay, so I've also had like 2 deaths this year, and it was like very new to me because it was like my first time experiencing that with like someone I've actually met and knew. It was like my grandparents, both on my dad's side, F in the chat, and they live in the Philippines, so we had to do the Zoom call meeting. Majority of us weren't there because we were on Zoom because we were all in Canada. And it felt so weird, like just looking at it, because it's like,
Yeah.
you're on a Zoom call.
You're on a like, this is the platform I use to like go to class and watch YouTube. This is just so weird. And then you have like all those windows open, and like some people don't have their camera on and some people do.
Yeah.
Like your uncle that never goes to like any family related things has his mic and his video off, and then like your psychotic aunt is like crying into her camera. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Very weird experience.
It's definitely like that's probably one of the things with technology too. Like, a lot of people will say, yeah, it's like there's so much you can do now and it's better than not going, but you still feel that disconnect because you can't be there in person.
Yeah, it feels very impersonal.
Yeah, like, even though we can look at that and attend, technically, nothing is gonna be able to replace, like, the actual feeling of being there and the closure you can experience by being there.
Yeah. It's just weird shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of like... I feel very impartial to death. I don't know why. Maybe because it's just like inevitable.
It's something that happens to everyone, and it's very weird to think about that. Because yeah, it's literally inevitable. You can't slide death. Yeah,
like no matter who you are, like your status and everything, it's just like that is it. Yeah. Like everybody has the same thing. I mean, obviously, the thing that people say that I don't agree with is that death is equal, because it's not.
It's not.
Like,
some
you can't tell me
far worse than others.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me like an 80-year-old that, you know, passes naturally had an equal death to like a 5-year-old with cancer or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. I think that's what terrifies me too. It's just like,
yeah.
Like I'm impartial to it, but it still scares me conceptually because I don't know how I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah. In the hypothetical situation where you could find out how you die or when you die, which one would you choose to find out, if any? Like if you had to choose one.
If I had to choose one and it was where or when?
It's like how or when, yeah.
Oh, how or when, okay. Let me think. Probably how. Yeah, I would probably choose how.
Why would you choose how?
I feel like if I had like when, it would sort of like in a way it would help. I don't know. I feel like if I knew when, it would somehow make me like
paranoid?
Maybe.
Would it like stress you out?
It's hard to put into words. Yeah, it would stress me out to a degree, especially if it was like sooner rather than later.
Definitely.
But I feel like it would inhibit my ability to enjoy life, because the thing that I like about life is the fact that, I mean, yeah, I could literally just like lose control of my car tomorrow and drive into a lake and then that's it. But there's also the chance that that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's just like the fact that you don't, it's both things. You don't really know how you're gonna leave and you don't really know when. But the thing about when you're gonna go is just like there's something heavier about, okay, this is
how much time I have left.
Yeah, this is the time I have, and this is what I have to do before I, run out of time and whatnot. Whereas with when, I feel like, I mean, not when, I keep saying that. Whereas with how,
you can also kind of like, let's say you die in an accident, depending on like the specificness, you could also potentially avoid it. And then
that's true.
Could also pose the, would you find out your new date of death, or would you like death avoid it?
Let's just say hypothetically you couldn't avoid it, but but like just imagine it, like you find out how you're gonna die, and it's like, the thing is, if it's super specific, then you'll know when it's your time, when it happens. Like, oh, you're gonna die in a mass shooting at like a baseball game. Like you go to a baseball game and then you're like, okay, yeah, like
Like
this is
I'm
this
head
is
out.
it. Yeah, and then but whereas, or like, and that's just for a super specific one. But if you get something like a car crash, that could literally happen any day. So in a way, you just sort of there's this psychological theory. I can't remember who came up with it, but it's called terror management theory, and it's essentially it's like an idea that everything we do, whether subconsciously or consciously, is an action that we partake in to cope with the fact that our death is, you know, imminent, or, you know, like you can't avoid it. Like for instance, an artist might be very passionate about art, but they also might want to like leave their mark on the world, or, you know, something in some way that could immortalize them, because, you know, one day you're gonna be thought of for the very last time, and that's it. But it's just stuff like that. So when you like, if you get something like a car crash, I mean, people drive in cars like 24/7. So
car crashes are so much more common than plane crashes.
Yeah, or like shootings or anything like that. I'm pretty sure car crashes is like
probably
the leading cause of death, I think. That might be outdated, but I remember reading something like that. But yeah, if you get something like a car crash, I mean, that could literally happen any day, so you just learn to not fear it, I guess. I mean, that's how I would take it. I know some people who would be like, oh my goodness, a car crash, I can never drive ever again, and, you know, lose their shit. But I don't know.
I feel like,
I guess it's how you take it.
Yeah. In my case, it's very interesting because I'd actually want to know when. Like, and it's kind of the opposite reasons, kind of. It's like, if I know when, I know how much time I have. So, like, as a person, I'm very, like, I want to do things. So,
yeah,
I'd want to, like, know when I die. So it's like, okay, first of all, if I die, like, maybe, I don't know, like, in 70 years from now, then I can infer that I died from natural causes or something like that. And it's like, okay, I can go on with my life. Or if it's like sooner, it's like, oh shit, but at least I know. At least I know. So it's like, when it comes, I kind of mentally prepared for myself, knowing like, okay, this is when I'm going to die, so I have to, or I'll try my best to fulfill what I can before that time comes. And with like knowing how you die, I feel like I'm one of those paranoid people who would be like trying their best to avoid it, because death is scary. And it's like, if you feel, when you have that knowledge of how you're gonna die, you also kind of like subconsciously also have that feeling of, I can prevent this. And
yeah, true.
I feel like I would become so
There's
paranoid.
that part of you that like wants to live.
Yeah. I would be so paranoid by trying to make myself live that I wouldn't feel like I'm living. I'm just avoiding death.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like, both sides are very valid.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, it would be easier the opposite way, just because, like, my view on life is just that we're literally on a rock floating in the middle of a spatial void. Like, that already doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So like life in general just doesn't make any sense. It's just completely absurd.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I've witnessed some crazy shit, and it just like happens. Like,
yeah.
There's no warnings or anything like that. So there's like, I guess for me, knowing how it could, you know, because there's that part of you that's like, oh, I could maybe I can prevent this and, you know, cheat death and whatever, and, you know, that.
Yeah.
But there's also like the comfort, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of unconventional. I think most people would choose the when just because it allows them to like
Mentally prepare.
age. Yeah, it sort of lets them age their life. But
Yeah.
then my question is, oh, well, what do you get when you get something like 2 hours from now? Or
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's just like that whole thing.
So this is what we do. Because we're basically the same person, you find out how, I find out when, we reconvene, we're like, okay, this is when we die. And this is how it
Wait.
happens.
I have a... Yeah, so... Okay, I'll do how, you do when, and then we stay together at all times.
Yeah.
At all times. Like, if I get some shit that's like, oh, you're gonna be driving on the freeway, and you're gonna be, like, you're gonna get in a car accident and get impaled or something.
Oh my god.
I'll be like, cool, I'm bringing Jello with me, because maybe, maybe before the accident happens, she'll grab the wheel and swerve or something. This is like some Final Destination shit.
Oh,
but
that's so fun.
yeah. Or I could just actually die and traumatize you for life.
Oh my god. And then I still have the when I died. I'm like, oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
have this much time left.
Fair.
I feel like something that would be really scary is like, if, let's say you can cheat it, and like you keep getting updates.
Oh god.
Like, let's say that did happen, and you cheated death now, and then you get a new update.
I feel bad for the person that, like, they want to know when and they get 2 hours and
Yeah.
dodge it. They get an update and it's like, tomorrow.
Yeah. A series of unfortunate events.
Literally. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard topic.
Definitely.
It's so fucking scary. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like,
It's
I was
definitely
literally like I've been at a house by myself for like a week now,
Oh damn.
and I'm just a very like paranoid person in general.
Same.
So and I think it's partially due to when I was a kid, I watched this documentary, and it was literally about how these two criminals lived in somebody's house
Oh my
for
god.
years without them knowing. Like, that shit like that terrifies me.
Oh, definitely.
Like, they like lived in their closet or something, and then
Oh
like
my god.
couple had a child, and don't ask me why they left their child in the tub and then left to go buy groceries or some shit.
Oh,
But
the
like
fuck?
the criminals like killed the child. I think that shit like traumatized me as a kid.
Oh yeah, that would traumatize me too.
But like, I like to make sure all the doors are closed, and I locked my room door. Like, I cut on the alarm. I bolted the front door. I bolted the back door, and then I locked my own room door. And my logic behind it was, my alarm takes approximately 30 seconds for the alarm to sound. So hypothetically, if someone broke into this house, and you know, you're kind of in a hurry when you break into houses, I would assume.
Yeah.
But if they came directly for me, they could literally have a 15 to 20 second window to like stab the shit out of me
Oh.
before the alarm goes off. So I was like, okay, if I lock my room door, I buy myself a few seconds.
Damn.
And yeah, like that. And then I read this news article about this lady who like lost control of her car and drove into a lake and died.
Damn.
So like 3 hours ago, I went on fucking WikiHow, and I was like, how to escape your car after driving into water. I don't know. I think I have like anxiety or some shit.
Oh,
but
like,
yeah.
I think one thing with death is that it's kind of like the top of fear, because one of the things that comes from fear is not knowing or understanding it. And death is one of those things where you can't really understand what happens next because you can't come back. And no one can tell you that. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And so, like, it just really, like, it just accentuates that fear of not knowing what's gonna happen or not knowing why it happens.
It's just like one of those questions where it goes one of two ways. You have the answer after you die, or you just die and that's it, and there's no fucking answer. Like, you just...
and that's
like,
scary.
It's scary as fuck, but also in a way I'm just like so infatuated with it. It just interests me.
It's very interesting.
Because I just like, I think the concept of it is like so cruel.
Yeah.
But it's like, to a degree, it's really fucking beautiful. I don't know why. It's just like there's
poetic.
just a beauty in knowing, okay, well, one day that's gonna be it, and you know. But of course, the only way you could possibly think that is if you were to like die of old age, because you're obviously prepared.
Oh yeah.
It's not like dying in a plane crash or something.
Oh yeah. It's like you kind of expect at that age. It's like a matter of when.
Yeah. That's why I like old people so much. They're at the fuck it stage.
Oh, they're so funny. It's like, I barely remember some parts of what we're talking about, but there's probably some very spicy parts.
Oh, definitely. I like how I didn't talk about the nouns that much.
Yeah, it was just like the nouns were like ideas for us to talk about things.
Yeah, like I went from dirt to like how gross kids are to like worm.
Yeah.
I went from a funeral. We went from a funeral
Yeah.
to like talking about
Death in
impersonal
general.
technology, to like death, and then to old people. Love that.
I feel like next time for our next episode, we can probably just use the noun generator, and that's how we make our topics.
True.
We should do that. That would be really smart.
Yeah. Because it was so much easier
I know.
than like looking at the transcript. Because like the thing that you don't really segue like that. Like,
yeah.
Because I was looking at it and I was like, we just finished this. Does this mean that we like...
Yeah, it's like, do you just... Okay, guys, here's the next topic.
Yeah, like with this, we can literally, like, we went from talking about funerals to old people.
Oh, yeah.
Which is related, but like...
So, that's the end of our podcast. Like, our first episode. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Go comment down below if you want to see more of that random noun generator stuff, because that was really fun and it felt like it worked really well with the two of us.
Yeah. That's it. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I need some weed.